Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Tuesday, 2 o'clock. It's a beautiful day here on the East Coast in Mystic, Connecticut. And I hope everybody had a good holiday, good, safe holiday. And we have the New Year's coming up. Let me make sure I have everything working here. Just refresh my screen. Up there it is. Okay, cool. And so I'm going to do a this is a part of a series of broadcasts that I'm doing on my book, old name, have a new name, doing on my book. And I'm going to show you a test that I do right at the end, or right near the end, and a change I made. I changed the name of my book. So you can see the new book is over here, the new cover and everything. And it's going to be talking about this. Let me just put this up here. Oh, let me get this out of the way. Take that off. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about this, why I changed the name of my book and how I came around to come up with this. So let's see, anybody's here. We got a couple likes in here. So that's cool. So this is the basic thing. So this is something that I do near the end, when you're almost near the end. And I usually advise people to not finalize the title of their book until very much near the end, because books change, they morph, they do different things. And when you start writing them, and we usually always have some kind of title for our book. And we'll call this like the friends and family title that we will have for our book. And when we're talking about our book, or even through this whole launch that you've seen me, I've had this book up here, and I've been using this title. This is still kind of a friends and family title. And but as I have learned, as I have done these broadcasts around my book, this is all part of the promotion and stuff, I have had some issues with how I say that name and what I do with it. And then I did this test. So I'm putting together, there's some videos that are now in the member area on training. And the first video, which are things you do before you publish a book, is about this test. So there's two tests that I run on my book titles. One of them, the first one, is the Don't Make Me Think test. And we have a very short amount of time when people see our books and they try to figure out if this is the book that they're going to have. This is the one they want. And does it solve their problem? Because books solve people's problems. Somebody has a question and they come. So the first one is Don't Make Me Think, and that's based off of the Steve Krug book. He wrote a book called Don't Make Me Think about web usability. And I've used it as a guideline for how I do things. And hopefully it's a kind of a goal that I try to put things through, is that you can figure out what's going on without somebody standing there explaining it to them. Remember, our books have to live on their own. They're out there on Amazon or in stores or wherever they are on the web, and people have to be able to figure out what they are. So that's the first test you run your book title through. Don't make me think. Do people have to think about what it is? Do people understand what your book is? And this is important on nonfiction books, how-to books, self-help books, cookbooks, all that kind of book, kind of books that I write and a lot of people write. The second test that I do is a search test, where I take the title, and I put it into 3 different search engines. And that's the one I'm going to show you right now. And that's what got me to change the title of my book. Let me bring that up here. So let's just go to here. So I use, in fact, I'm going to take this off for a second here, just so it's not, there we go. So I use 3 search engines for doing this test. And the 3 main ones are the Google search engine, which is the biggest one, the YouTube search engine, which is the number 2 search engine, and then I use the Amazon search engine, because Amazon is our store. So this is where we're going to be selling our books, and we need to know that our title, if somebody searches on our title or around our title or similar to our title, it gets you at least into the market where you think you're going to be selling your book. So if I'm doing a book on fly fishing, I'd like my books to be in the fly fishing area. I don't want it to show up in the quilting area. So let me just show you how I do this. And if you have questions, let's see here. We have a comment. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, thank you, Steve. And yeah, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to take my 2 titles and show you what I discovered. And it was going through this process that I went, oh, I don't know. And this isn't a science process. This is sort of, it's a gut feel. It's from experience. You're kind of looking at stuff, but you want to run these tests on your book and see how it shows up. So I have the Google search engine here, and I'm going to bring in, I'm just going to type, whoops, I started to type on the screen. I'm going to type in the title of my book. So How I Made, you can see I've been messing around with this here, experimenting. And you'll notice as you type, most of you are aware of this, that Google will start to do this sort of instant search. All right, it drops down a menu of where it thinks you're trying to get to. And you know, this is crowdsourced. There's millions of people searching on Google all the time. And it sort of says, okay, I think this is where Bruce is going. I think this is what he's looking for. And it tries to anticipate and throw up things that might help me get to there. So I'm going to put in the whole title. And we'll just do this, 650. Now notice what happens when I start to get specific with that number. They all disappear, all right? Because it's a very specific title with a very specific dollar amount in it. So everything disappears. That to me right there is a little flag like, oh, I don't know, that's not a good idea when I can't even get through the title and it's already narrowing down to one. I'm going to put in selling books on Amazon. The title, the main title of the book. So now I'm just going to search on that, and up will show some interesting things. One is my basic concept of marketing books is to take your content and spread it around. My basic content is what shows up. So my basic marketing is kind of working. In other words, all of the things I've been doing are being posted out there on the web. So that's something good. And I like that. It shows that the things I'm doing, the images are showing up. You know, the Facebook page is showing up. This is my Gumroad site where I sell it. Here's my website, Pinterest. I've been pushing this out in a lot of places. These are some interviews and things that have been done, or some videos that I've made. So that title, which is very specific, brings up everything. So that's actually okay on that area. Then I go to YouTube. So let's go over to YouTube, and we'll do the same search. Now, YouTube is where people go for information. And, oh, look at my shows going live right there on YouTube. So this is where you go for information. This is the how-to capital of the world. And we come here to look for stuff. So I'm going to type in same title. Oops, 322650. Selling books on Amazon. All right, so there's the title, and I always recommend that people go look for your book on Amazon or wherever. So I'm on YouTube, and I'm going to search on that. And again, what you'll notice are my videos that show up, but not a lot of, there's some down here, some stuff on selling, but there's some other stuff that is just not too focused on this. All right, so this is already making me going, some of it's working, but it's sort of working. All right, and I can see how to do things. And what's interesting is my stuff again shows up. So at least I've been putting good descriptions in. All right. Now we're going to go. So that sort of said, okay, I'm okay. And that's probably enough that would say the title was on mark. Now I'm going to go to Amazon, and I'm going to search in books. So remember that Amazon is, this is our store, right? If we don't show up or get into the same right market or the right area, we're in trouble because this is our store. So I'm going to type in the same title. How, you notice the same thing happens, the drop-down menu. And again, Amazon, it's a different algorithm, but you can kind of see, and any title with a how in it or a how-to brings up a lot of stuff. In fact, if you just want to make how-to books, just go how-to and see what shows up here, and then just make the same books that they're showing here, like how to draw for kids, because Christmas time probably. So how I made. There are some books like this, which is kind of where I went originally when I was thinking of this title. I saw there was this book, How I Made $290,000 Selling Books. So mine was very similar to that, and so I'm putting up. So let's do this 650 selling books on, and again, it's all disappeared, right? I'm getting so specific now that there isn't anything in that search engine that sort of fits to this. And now I'm just going to search on this. And this is what shows up. It is a series of books that have nothing to do with books. This is what got me to thinking about it and worried about it when I was working on this a couple days ago and sort of finalizing my book and sort of putting it together, is that there is nothing in here that has anything to do with books. The Amazon search engine is confused about what my book is really about. And you'll notice, because it isn't published yet. I don't have this book up on Amazon, so I can't find that book. But I want searches that come up basically around my topic. I want to know that people can sort of click on this and maybe get to where they're supposed to be. And I know there are a lot of books on Amazon around selling books on Amazon. So this was a warning flag to me that something is really not going well here. All right. So let's go back. So that caused me to think, okay, let me change, maybe I should change this. So I'm going to come back over to Google. I'm going to do the search again with another title, the new title. And one of the things I learned from doing a lot of these broadcasts, and this is also a good way, is to listen to yourself and what's coming out, is as I would try to explain this book, and I've done some interviews now and I've done some training, is I always started talking about how to sell your book on Amazon, how to sell your book on Amazon. This book was about that. This book has one goal, which is how to sell your book. That's its whole purpose. It only talks about one topic, how to sell your book. That's not that. And so it started already as I was working on this, I started to think, something's not quite right here. And so let's just go back over here. And I'm going to change this to what did I do? How to sell your book. Now look what starts to happen here on Amazon. I'm getting a lot better instant search results. I'm getting all the way to the end of this. And I'm going to use the how to sell your book on Amazon as the search phrase. And you'll notice that lots of stuff comes up around this topic. So I hit this and we get search results that are much more focused on my book. And eventually my book will be in here too, right? But this is a feel. There's no science in this so much as it's a feel and experience. And you'll notice that you'll see things are a little closer. It's like, okay, this is a little closer to where I'm going to be. And we'll come back to this in a moment too, because this is a really key significant thing. Because not only do we do this with our titles, we can do it with our chapter titles. So let's go over to YouTube. I'm going to do the same thing. How to sell books on. Now look, we have a lot of stuff here that's related around books and selling things. I like that. I like to see that there's a good amount of drop-down menus so I can see what are the phrases, how are people phrasing this, and what are they doing with it. So sell books on Amazon. Look at that. All kinds of cool stuff that's showing up in here. That to me is a positive sign. Hit the search thing. And look at what shows up here. So these are all the videos. So as I do more videos and I start to look at this stuff, you'll see these are all videos around selling books on Amazon or selling books. So this book primarily, it's focusing on Amazon a lot, but it's also just about selling books in general. And I'm getting lots of good stuff. I like all this. This is to me, here's my stuff is sort of showing up now. There's a live broadcast by me. But you can see there's tons and tons and tons of videos around this topic. This is a big topic. It's an active market. A lot of people are in it. You want to be in an active market with a lot of competition because that's where people are looking for this kind of stuff. So I'm very pleased with that. That to me says, okay, I'm a little closer. Now let's come over to the big test. Let's do how to sell books on Amazon. All right. And we have stuff in here, one for beginners. So for me, that's a good keyword. I was gearing a lot of my stuff to beginners. That could be a blog post right there. These are all these phrases that the search engines throw up are fantastic titles for blog posts, for videos, for chapter heads, all that kind of stuff, because this is what people are searching on. You can build this into your stuff. So if you're going to do some blog posts on your topic, go do this across these three platforms and look and see what shows up. All right, let's hit return. And now look at what shows up. We have selling books, selling on Amazon, more books, used books, selling crafts on Amazon, more books, selling on Amazon, selling on Amazon, selling on Amazon, all the way down. All right. So it's much more focused. It's in the market that I want to be. So if I just pick one of these books, we'll do, let's just pick one about books. We'll do this one. I think I read this book a long time ago. This is a pretty well-known book. And I can see what other things show up here, what they're pairing it to in his books. So it really made me go and look at what my title was and realizing that I'm missing the market. I want to be in the how to sell books on Amazon market, not in all those other topics that showed up. So it caused me to change my title. And that's what I've done. Now, I've also discovered it works better in videos when I'm talking about how to sell your book. I'm still kept the title in here. In fact, you'll notice I kept, let me go back over here. We'll put this up. I didn't lose the whole title. I just took, this always bothered me too, right down here at the bottom, the 322,000 selling books, the inside secrets. I was basically selling, I sell and sell twice. So I just made them into one, sentence, how I made 322,000 and sold 34,605 books on Amazon. And I pulled out the inside secrets and put it up at the top. Okay, so you'll notice it's up at the top and it's like a little kicker up there. And I think everything just is smoother. I didn't want to change the design, didn't want to change the colors. This book has tracked really well. And it was, it's one of the things that I thought about a lot changing the title is this book has actually sold pretty well as a pre-sale, and now it's on Gumroad. In fact, right here, you can right there. So it's doing nicely. What it's done is it had to cause me to go and change all of my branding. Any examples that are inside the book, I had to go through everything. Let me go over to the Gumroad page here. I had to change all the graphics. I'm going to be doing a video soon on making your media kit. And I've had to remake my media kit several times as I keep making new covers. Let me see here. Let's do here. All right, so that's over there. And should be up. There it is. So now I have redone all my branding and marketing and putting that kind of stuff. So, but it's across the book. I have lots of examples now. I have a little worksheet that people can download. So I had to go and change all those graphics across all those different things. So let me go back to, I want to go back to right over here. And this is a tip that you can use when you're trying to figure out what to talk about with a topic. And it came up, I've known this for a long time and I've used this. In fact, I'm going to, I think, do some of the same exercise. This is the table of contents for the book. And the book is basically done is this, you can do this exercise on your table of contents because your table of contents are the benefits of your book. And they also can become blog posts, podcasts, and videos. You can do one on every one of your table of contents on your book and break it out, which is what some of the stuff I talk about in my book. But if you notice, anytime you put up a question kind of search, so we had how to sell your book on Amazon, something interesting will happen is Google adds in this section right here, all right? And it will be a series of questions that people are asking around this same topic. So this is what I wrote, and that showed up pretty well. You can see all the instant searches, so that's pretty much how people phrase it and what they asked for. But they also asked for these things. How much can you make selling a book on Amazon? Is it worth to sell the books on Amazon? How do you price books to sell on Amazon? Sometimes there'll be 3 to 5 questions like that. As you dig into this, it will send you to a post somewhere where this is, and then they'll add in more questions. So they're saying, okay, you want to know about selling, so now it will start to feed in questions that are on selling and pricing. If I had done, let me go back, and had gone a different direction, let's see, is Amazon self-publishing worth it? Let's just try that one. You'll see now you get other questions. These questions are sort of crowdsourced questions that come from everybody asking questions on Google around topics. If you're trying to figure out a top 10 book, a how-to book, blog post, what you want to do, just go to Google, type in your question, and you'll see all kinds of fantastic topics that show up. And I would phrase them exactly like they do it here. This is how Google sees this question, your blog post, your title, chapter title is like that. So I'm just going to put one in here just to show you an example. I have a title called Create a Media Kit. Create a Media Kit so you have tools to promote your book. So I'm just going to put in here, that's really about create how to, I'm going to say how to, use the word how to in front, how to create a media kit for your book. Okay. And you'll notice we get 4 questions right here. So what's a press kit? How do I make a press media kit? What should include in your media kit? How can I write? So it makes me re-look at my chapter titles and think it should be phrased something along this. So I'm going to go and take all of my chapter titles and throw them in. If anybody wants to throw a question in the comments, I'll go search right now. We'll see what shows up. But this is a great way to sort of look at your table of contents, the main bullet points on your book, that kind of thing, and see if you are aligning yourself with the search engines. Let me take how to create a media kit. Let's just go over to YouTube. We'll do the same thing. How to create a media kit. Look at that. You have all kinds of great, how to create a media kit for your business, how to create a media kit media company, how to create for Instagram. These are all fantastic titles. How to create a media kit. See what shows up in videos. So we have all kinds of videos. So if you're trying to build something in your website and you want to put some extra video content around your stuff, just search on these questions and look at, you get all kinds of really cool videos that you can write about, and then you can add some video content. You don't have to make your own content. So, all right. So that's just a little side note on that, and hope that makes sense. So that's the reason that I went and changed my book title, is because I did the search on Google, did it on YouTube, and I did it on Amazon, and wanted to see where I show up, and is my title getting people close to the area of Amazon that I want my book to be sitting in. And I determined it wasn't. So now I'm going to be there. So anyways, so that's that. Next coming up, you notice what I did, this interesting thing. I love experimenting a little bit. And you'll notice at the top, I'm using the Facebook. You'll see me use the Facebook header area to do different things with. I think it can be more than just a picture up there. So I'm using it as sort of what I've done and what's coming up. In training, I now have the some videos done that relate to the book. It's a PDF book. It can work on an iPad or this. And somewhere in January, I'll be doing the full book launch for the book. But I'm kind of leading way to it. But I'm showing you all the different things. And I'll do broadcasts on making a cover, making a media kit, and then showing a question I get a lot about is how to make a KDP ebook for my book. So, but I'm using this little real estate up here at the top of my Facebook page to show stuff. So, all right. I think that will do today. This is just a little training on video, but I encourage you to run your book titles through the search engines, the main search engines, and see what shows up. And is it resonating? Is it bringing people into the area that you are looking for, or is it just sending people off to quilting or fly fishing or someplace else? So, all right, we'll see you next time. Have a great New Year's. Have a safe New Year's, and we will talk soon. All right, bye-bye.